Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is Joe Shoup with Mark Stevens, our very, very special guest today, Jennifer Ashby. Hi, Jen. Good morning. Good morning, Mark.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Excited for the Breakfast Club today.
All right. Well, we're excited to have you here. And Mark, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Jen? Long time.
I know. It's been too long. I missed the Breakfast Club. Glad to be back.
Oh, good. Well, we're excited to have you back. We're going to make a few announcements at the end of the broadcast, so stay tuned so you can hear what's going on. We have some announcements about Anson Ashby going to be with us. We're going to give you those dates. We're excited about that on a regular basis. We're also going to talk very briefly or make an announcement about Lead Skimmer. So stay tuned, but we want to get right to Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm excited to have you back. I'm glad that we're connected and always been, and I'm just glad to have you in our life and have you here at the Breakfast Club. So
that's great. I love joining Breakfast Club, and I hope that we can, I can join a lot more in the next few weeks, months, and years.
Well, we're counting on it. Actually, we're hoping to make that announcement at some point to say we have her on a regular basis. So, and we'll make that announcement. We'll talk about that. But
yeah, we will.
Let's go forward here. Let's get right to business, because here's what we teach people, Jen. This is regular, normal procedure for us, which is they join their primary company, and let's say for today that's Karatbars. They join the company. The first thing that we do and teach is you need to go and join Tools Rock. Now, Jennifer is the CEO, the creator of Tools Rock, along with her husband, Anson Ashby. And, a number of years ago, I knew of Jen through a company called Jri, where she was, like the #1 player in Jri. And I knew of her name. I knew she was building. Her name was all over, but I had never met her. And, she, at that point, was very concerned about the affiliates and what tools they had. And even though the company was using a company for their marketing, it wasn't for the affiliates. And she brought it to their attention and created Tools Rock in order to bring the affiliates tools that were coming from the field, from her mind, what the affiliate really needed. And so that's how Tools Rock was really created. Am I correct with that, Jen?
Yeah, and when I created Tools Rock, it was actually a year or so after I left Jri. But when I was within Jri, I did create tools on my own, just to really provide that for the team. But I just wanted to make that distinction because I am no longer a part of Jri, and then I decided to create Tools Rock with my husband to say, if we have this problem, other networkers have this problem. And when I take my skills of creating funnels and communication and my love for the industry, this is the perfect home where I get to serve people like you, Joe, and your team.
Good. Okay, cool. So, all right. So, you could see in those days that, Jennifer was a leader. You could tell that she knew how to communicate and connect with people, and that's the big thing. There's a big difference between just communicating and then connecting. So, Jen, why don't you tell us the difference between what happened with you way back from Jri up till present time about, when one communicates, but then the importance of connecting.
This is, as you know, Joe, like my favorite topic to talk about, communicating, connecting, all of that. And I have to say that, oh, I'm sorry, Joe, give me 1 second. I have to move to a different location. Don't go anywhere. Let me just... Okay. Sorry about that. So the difference, there's a big difference in communicating and connecting. And, I used to think at one point that everyone communicates, right? Or everyone can do that. It's a normal skill. But you know what? It's not. It's something that we hone. It's something that we learn. It's something that we develop. Now, there is something that everyone does, and that's everyone talks, right? We all talk. We all can make words with our mouth and use the human language. So we all talk, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're communicating. And it definitely doesn't mean that we're connecting. So, Joe, there's something that you probably haven't heard me bring up on one of these calls before, but I'm going to bring it up today, and that is one of the components of communication or connection, right, that isn't often discussed, and that is intention. So there's two parts to communication, right? There is the intention, and then there's the words that come out of your mouth. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but sometimes you could think something and intend to say something, but your words come out wrong, but the person still gets what you're actually trying to say. Have you ever experienced that, Joe?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, right? Sometimes maybe you're frustrated or you have the words wrong, or you say turn right, but you meant left, but your intention is left, and they end up turning left. You know, I mean, that happens all the time because we hear the language, but even as a human species, we haven't always had the language, right? It's why people they don't even speak the same language can fall in love. There's intention. So communication is your intention, and it's also the words that come out of your mouth. And more important than the words that come out of your mouth are your intention, right? What intention are you setting? So when we're communicating with people, we can talk about who we're communicating with, whether it's a team member, a prospect, a brand new person, a friend and family that you're going to bring, to introduce the business. Whatever it is, something that is more important than what am I going to say is what's my intention that I want to communicate, right? So this is, I know, Joe, you kind of brought up connecting, but before we even get to connecting, we have to understand what communication is. Because if you're communicating and people aren't understanding or receiving what you're saying, then it's just breath, it's just words, it's nothing. And what sets it apart is that intention behind it. So let's take an example. What audience do we want to talk about, Joe? A new member, a new team member, a prospect?
Yeah, a new team member. Yeah. Oh, no, a prospect. No, absolutely, a prospect.
Okay, perfect. So let's take a prospect. So let's say there's somebody that you that responded to, maybe you put out an ad on social media, or you put a post on social media or whatnot, and somebody reached back out to you, and now you're going to talk to them, right? You're going to pick up the phone and talk to them. So what I would do before I even picked up the phone and called them, before I even wrote a script, which you don't even need, right, if you have your intention in the right place, is I would take a piece of paper and I would say, okay, what's this person's name? Okay, Mark. Great, I would write Mark. And I would say, what does Mark want, right? Because maybe I know this information already. Maybe I don't. So I'll play both examples. What does Mark want, right? Mark wants freedom. Mark doesn't have enough time with his kids. Mark doesn't have enough time with his family. I'm just using an example here. So I would write that down, right? How can I serve Mark, right? How can I help Mark? And I would write that down. Now, what is this going to take? 10 seconds, 30 seconds? People can say, oh, I don't have time to do that. It's like, you don't have time not to do it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time on a call, not really communicating with the person. So write down, okay, this is this person, this is what he's looking for. Or, I don't know what he's looking for, right? But put a big question mark there. And then my intention is to find out what he's looking for. My intention isn't to tell him what I can do for him. My intention would be to find out what he's looking for, right? So sometimes we always think when we're communicating with somebody about our business, we need to tell them about our business. But sometimes you don't have to tell them about your business. You got to find out what they want first. So your intention is going to be very different depending on who you're speaking to. So I would write that down. That way, when I call that person, I'm very clear on the intention that I'm sending to them, right? So I would call the person, and then I would just then here's where the connecting comes in, right? And when I say the difference between connecting and communicating, connection occurs when there is emotion, when there's a genuine caring, right? You can communicate with intention and language just fine, but to take it to that next level of connection, there has to be a care. There has to be a genuine, authentic care for that person to make their life better, to serve them, right? To help others. So I know I just threw a lot at you there, Joe, and everyone on Breakfast Club, but to kind of sum it up, the points that I was making here, so it doesn't seem too scattered, is that ground level is communicating. And communicating is your language and your intention. And the dominant one, the more important one, is your intention. So if you have your intention, and obviously you all speak the, you all have language, so you all know English and you can speak to people, but more important than that is the intention. So you set your intention. You obviously know how to talk about your business, but more important, again, I can't say it enough, is that intention. And then to take it to the next level from just communicating to actually connecting, you bring in that level of care, that emotion, the genuinely wanting to serve that person and make a difference in their life.
Jen, I think that makes all the difference in the world in whether a person is successful, because in this industry, so many people are focused on instant gratification, meaning that instant money. When will I make my money back? And I'm going to start making money. What we constantly pound here at the Breakfast Club is what Robert Kiyosaki, what more importantly, what time frame have you given yourself? Not tomorrow to make $1, but set this in motion, like Jim Rohn says. Give this 1 year, but work during the year. Do the right things. Learn how to connect properly. And I think what we see here is most people aren't connecting because they don't have, maybe the intent is even there, but they don't connect because they don't have that genuine care there, that emotion that's there that says, I want to help. How can I serve you? And I think it is such a major, major part of being successful here. And I think most people are not connected in that way with themselves to go want to help that person because, A, they're not making money, and their focus starts on making money. And that's what has to change here. We've got to get people to understand helping others. We hear this all the time. Show a person what, help a person get what they want, and you'll get what you want. But the truth is, are you really practicing that? And I think people, need to understand that truly, that the way to get there is to truly care about helping others and serving others, and that other stuff will fall into place.
Absolutely. And, Joe, you bring up a good point. You have to genuinely care, but you really can't care for others unless you care for yourself. And, for those of you that are on the line that are saying, hey, I just need the money, I would say dig deeper. Because I'm telling you, if you are attracting people into your business because they just want the money, they're not going to stick. It's not going to be sustainable, right? Because network marketing, God, this is a beautiful industry. And the people that win are the people that are persistent and consistent and are patient. And people that come in that want the money real quick, they'll probably jump to another company, right? Or they'll move around, or they won't have success, or who knows. So what the point I'm making here is that it's more than just the money. I think we would all agree, right? Life is more than just money. Money is just part of the game, right? But it's not why we're here. It's not what this life is about. It's not why you joined with Joe Shoup and you're on this Karatbars call, right? This call right now isn't directly putting money in your pocket. Indirectly it will, but it's not directly, but you're here for something more. And just knowing Joe and Mark and their character and who they are as beings, I know that you guys probably are attracted to them because you know that they feel there's something more and they know there's something more. So taking it, again, back to even a lower foundation, a more stable foundation is before you can help others and really serve them, you have to serve yourself and help yourself. And part of that is knowing what you want. So, you can set the intention that you're going to find out what someone wants and help them, but you have to ask yourself, do I know what I want? Sometimes we hear this all the time in the industry. People will say, what's your why, right? And they always kind of say, what's your why? And they use that as a tool to anchor people in the business, and it's true. But it's beyond anchoring somebody in the business. It's really paramount. And I don't think a lot of the coaches out there that promote, connect with your why, discuss this part of it, which is if you don't know what you want, you can't help people get what they want. So that could even be an action, Joe, or a takeaway that we give everyone today is, when we hang up this call, to what do you want, right? What maybe list out 5 prospects and see if you can write down what they want, right? And then maybe if you can't, take some time and write down what you want. And it's interesting because when you're more clear on what you want, it's like you automatically can tell what other people want. you can connect at that level.
Yes, I think you're correct. I think people do need to. I'm glad you brought that up to have a little homework to do, and we can actually talk about this tomorrow night a little bit. But and we'll make the announcement once again. But you're right. It is. I mean, I know we hear it all the time, and write down your why, and if you don't have it, and so on. It's really about, like you said, making that commitment to sit down with yourself and say, what is it that I want? What is it that I truly want? And, I've watched this industry for almost 22 years. And I don't know how you do that when you're only 37 years old. It's really hard, isn't it? But I've watched this for so long. And I keep hearing that, what is your why? And a lot of people never get to it. I know I didn't get to that for a few years. In the initial years, it just kept being pounded into me that I have to really know what I want. But the real why was being pressed, and I couldn't come up with that. I really couldn't. And then when I finally figured out, it wasn't about like I did in my conventional business. I didn't really have a why in my conventional business prior to coming to this industry. It wasn't even my idea. It was kind of like you and Anson. My wife and I she had the idea. It was her idea, and I jumped into the industry, and I jumped into a little different capacity, kind of like you guys. She was the leader in the actual, in the actual industry, and I was the marketing person. And it was, we combined those skills, and we created a very, very successful business. But I didn't have, it was only because she wanted a business, so hey, okay, I'll go work it. I didn't have any real goals set in place. And, fortunately, we were successful due to the type of industry we're in, the clientele that we had. But bringing that into this industry, when I came in here, I thought it was going to be the same thing as conventional business. Hey, you go get your customers, and I was, awakened to a real reality. Because it is different, although we're still, wanting to run a successful business, the way we run it here is a little bit different than opening a storefront. Attracting or looking for and finding the interested party was much different than the way I was used to doing it. So, but again, back to that, the what is it that I want? I think it's really good, Jen, that we focus on that and come up with what do we want before we can help others get what they want. We really have to feel that in ourselves. And I'm glad you brought that up. This always goes, when you and I do this, it always goes into something different, doesn't it?
It's funny, Joe. I purposely don't prepare for my calls with you because I never know where they're going to go. And I literally was not thinking of any of this before I got on the call. I was thinking maybe the 4 quadrants or something else that I've gone over with the leadership, communication. But I said, you know what? When Joe and I get together, who knows what happens? So I'll just hop on the call and see where it goes.
Hey, Mark, I don't know if you had any questions for Jen before we let her go, but we're gonna get Jen. She already did this without me asking, committing to coming back, and we'll figure out when. But we'll come back with doing the 4 quadrants and doing that over again, because many of the people that are here now never heard that, Jen. So, and we get the same thing everybody else gets. We get new people, they come in, and then after a couple months, then a new group comes in, and so on, and then we get a number of people listening to this tonight. By the time we get done here tonight, 100 people will have listened to this through the recording, and that's the exciting thing about Webinar Jam is this thing automatically goes up when we're done, and it's pretty exciting. But Mark, I thought maybe you had some talk with Jen or some.
Yeah, well, what I like about it is, and getting out of it, is the fact that caring is connecting, and that's what people in this industry want to know. Is that they don't want to know that they're just going to make money. They want to know that somebody cares about them. Because when that takes place, then all the other ingredients can come into play. But caring is a very, very important thing, and I find that out more and more when I talk to people, because a lot of people will think, well, all you want to do is make money off of me. But if they know that you care, and and what they want, that's a whole new ball game. So I thank you for that, Jen.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's you guys care, and you get that, and we feel that, and that's why I love getting on these calls, and you guys know that I care, and I hope that people, or actually I should say I'm sure that people on this call can feel that the 3 of us care. And it makes handling, one more thing I'll talk about, and then we can discuss this on a completely different call, but it makes handling objections so much easier because you're able to confront them. They can bring up an objection and you're able to handle it because you listen, you receive their information, you hear it because you care. You can't listen if you don't care. I mean, we can go on. This is a whole other call probably on listening. But, you're able to hear things more from people. There's that game, Joe, telephone, that I'm sure we've all played as a kid. You sit in a circle, somebody says something that goes around, and then the last person will say, like, what was said initially, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? And it's always like, what? Like, it's never what the person said, right? And it's because the intention when they're going around in a circle is to, like, even though they're saying the words, they kind of want it to be different. But, I bet if you did that game and everyone had their intention and their words matching, the word, the sentence would come out right on the other end. But, the point here is, the words are superficial. Words are superficial. But if you can get to the caring and you have that, not only can you communicate better, but you can listen better. And then your communication hops up a whole nother level. And this is so important when you're handling objections because you can do it gracefully, you can do it calmly, and you can do it authentically. And, I've told people, I've definitely told people when I was starting my network marketing business, years ago, that how much money are you making? And I say, I'm not doing this for the money I'm making today. I would say that's not why I'm here. I would have stayed at my IBM job if that was what I wanted. I go, let me share with you why I'm here, just to kind of give you the picture so that we can make sure that we're a good fit. I'm here because I get to create a financial future for myself that will create sustainability, that will grow. And I get to help other people create that same thing. So I'm not here for the money I'm making today. Right? And everyone's always worried about that question. Who cares, right? Because how do I approach that? And of course, it's a valid concern, but it's only a valid concern when we're trying to be something we're not.
Well, I hope everybody, well, of course, this is recorded, so you can go back. I suggest that we have in our class, in the communication class, we teach the questions and answers, and that's part of what you need to add to your toolbox there. To that question, honestly, I think it's the first time I heard that said, Jen, in that way. So that's phenomenal. I'm excited about that. Well, here's what we need to do. We need to let you go because I know you need to get on with your day. She has a busy day. And speaking of that, I should have mentioned this, that yes, Jennifer came from IBM. She was a top executive at IBM as well. So we're not talking about somebody that came in and just didn't know about business. She has been successful in both the brick and mortar business, so to speak, and in the corporate world as well as here in network marketing. So, Jen, thanks for being here with us today. We appreciate it. We're going to let you go because I know you got to get on. We're going to spend the next 3 or 4 minutes giving some updates, and certainly welcome to stay with us. But if you need to get on your way, we will talk to you. We love you. We're so happy to hear that you're here with us and glad that you're going to be with us in the future. And we're going to make some announcements also, unless you want to mention this real quick. Anson, this is one of the updates, is that Tools Rock, I know you guys are creating a new contact manager. Is that correct? And I know we don't want to make too much of the announcement, but Anson brought it up the other day on the Breakfast Club about there was going to be some changes.
He leaked?
He leaked it. He didn't say when. He just said look for it.
Well, I would say that we're definitely testing it because we want to make sure it's perfect. But this is a really good time to be in Tools Rock, and there's a lot that we're putting in place. And Joe, we're going to share more with you, and the team is going to start seeing that. But one of the reasons why Anson and I are going to be on these calls more is because Joe and Mark and you guys here on Breakfast Club and Karatbars, we really care for you guys. We love you guys, and we want to make this a great system for you. And we're making some great changes. And yes, a new contact manager is coming. And Joe, you're going to be one of our key people that are going to be testing it because you're so meticulous. So we'll share more of that with you later, Joe, and then we'll definitely get it out to the team at the appropriate time.
Okay, well, good. Well, have a great day today. We'll connect a little bit later during the week, and thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful week.
Excellent. All right, love you guys at Breakfast Club. Thanks, Joe, and I'll see you guys on another call very soon.
Okay, thanks, Jen.
Bye for now.
Bye. All right. So let me tell you that. Let me make this announcement. First of all, I want you to make sure that if you're using ToolsRock, to go through when you opened up your autoresponder. Let me just tell you that I think that in this industry, the name of that tool, calling it an autoresponder, doesn't really reflect what it is. Okay, so let's call the autoresponder a automatic invite letters, or invite letters that automatically go out. Okay, that's really what it is. Autoresponder to me does not, everybody calls it that, but I think there needs to be a distinction here between, an automatic responder to automatic letters that go out. That's really what an autoresponder is. These are letters that are already written for you that automatically go out when you put a contact in. When you push the button and say, use this autoresponder for these prospects or this prospect, the letters, invitation letters, automatically go out. Okay, so now that being said, each autoresponder has a set of letters that go out automatically when you put the name in, the contact. One of the letters, only one, and we believe it's in AdTech Gold or AdTech Business Invite. It's one of those two. Letter number 9, where it says go to the company overview, there's a link in there that's actually linking it to my website. The way to change that, I changed it on my end, but it didn't change it for you automatically. It can't, because you already brought those letters in. The way you do it is this. If you have to go over this tape and this recording later, do it. My suggestion is you check every letter and make sure that when you go to Tools, Autoresponders, View, V-I-E-W, you click on each link in every letter and make sure that it goes to your either friends and family or your AdTech Business Invite or your AdTech Gold site. Make sure each link that is directing a person to a website is yours. I'm telling you, there's only one in there. It's letter number 9 in one of those. It's not friends and family, though. It's either AdTech Business Invite or AdTech Gold Invite. I don't know which one it is, but check it. Click it and make sure. If you need to change it, you go to that letter and click on Edit the Letter. You highlight the word Company Overview, and then you go up to one of the little tools up top. One of the symbols looks like a figure 8. It's a hyperlink. You click that on, and it'll show you where they're directing that link to. And if it says joeshoop.adtechgoldinvite.com, you know it's wrong. It has to say pound my underscore site pound. It's called a merge code, so that when a person clicks it on, if it's in there, the system automatically merges that code with your particular autorespond or your website. So please check that. If you have any troubles, please call me. But I'm telling you, it's letter number 9 in one of those two. Everything else is correct. Okay.
Joe,
yes.
I just checked it. It goes to my site.
Then you copied it after I changed it. That's all I can tell you. But there are people that will have that. So I'm just telling everybody, check every single link in any autoresponder you opened up, which means that you have invite letters when you're inviting people, and it directs them to it was supposed to go to your site. Please make sure it goes to your site. Please make sure of that, so that no one sends a letter out and they're directing them over to me. It was just an oversight when we did some changes, and I apologize. Okay, that's one announcement. Number 2, I have created a new autoresponder. I did not make the link available yet. And the reason, and probably for those who want to use this autoresponder, if you're at the $20 level, then you can only use 2 autoresponders, so you may not use this. I don't know. Those who are using Lead Skimmer, and I'm going to be sending out a notice for Lead Skimmer, and today putting in a link to join Lead Skimmer in the ToolsRock or in the AdTech training room. But I created an autoresponder. I guess today what I'll do is I'll put that in the training room with a AR ID, autoresponder ID, and a passcode. And what it is if you want to send leads, in other words, if you had, let's say, if you used USA Leads and you had all these leads back there, and you want to send people to the Lead Skimmer website where people join Lead Skimmer, then this autoresponder, the letters, the invite letters, is going to invite them to Lead Skimmer, not to ToolsRock, not to Carrot Bars, not to any of the other sites. It's going to send them to Lead Skimmer site, your Lead Skimmer site. Okay, so I have those letters back there. So I'm going to have to put some instructions back there. If you want to know more about that, send me an email. Please don't text me or Skype me. I very rarely see those things. So send me an email and I'll see it faster. That's number 2. So Lead Skimmer autoresponder or invite letters are being set up. Number 3, Anson Ashby has agreed to be with us every I think Wednesday night. I think I put in there Tuesday, but I think every Wednesday night to do a training, or every Tuesday night, I think it is. We'll double check that for you and send the notice out. I think it's Tuesday night. To be with us for this reason. He's going to be on the Breakfast Club once a week in the morning, and he's also going to be on that Tuesday night call. That call is going to be geared to teaching people how to build a database from LinkedIn and from Facebook. Generic, basic ground rules on how to make that happen. The reason for that is now that everything is in place, our autoresponders, what to do with ToolsRock, what to do with your invite letters, how to do create all of that. A lot of people say, but who do I talk to? And we're teaching now that you have to have a database. And if you don't have one, then you have to build one. And that's why we joined Lead Skimmer, is to teach you how to build a database, not to buy leads, but to build a database. And if you have nothing, nothing, then ToolsRock would be the place to go buy some leads and start developing from those leads a database. Using Lead Skimmer, using Facebook, using LinkedIn, and we're going to get educated and put those things together through the guidance of Anson Ashby, who knows how to teach us how to do that. So that's very exciting. That's where we are. Now, I want to speak about connecting. I am excited that there are a number of people, a handful of people, I should say, and especially, like Bob Coons, who is working with me constantly to hone these letters, to go down and learn. This is a guy who cares. Honestly, this is a person who cares, like Mark and I and Jennifer and Anson and a number of these people, who cares about other people. He's working diligently with us behind the scenes to get these letters right, to find other ways to help people connect. So we're going to have Bob back once again this week. We're going to pick out the day here with him shortly and figure out and have him come back in and teach again with us like he did 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited about that. So just as Jennifer said, it's about caring, and I know that he cares, and that's why he's coming in to teach with us and share with us, and that's why he works with me on a daily basis. There are some other things in Lead Skimmer that we need to understand, and we're going to be talking about that on Tuesday night. So please tune in Tuesday night, because if you haven't seen all the tools in Lead Skimmer, you're going to be surprised to see that. We'll bring Bob on Tuesday night as well, so he can go in and teach us what he's studying and found as well. So with that, we're already beyond the time here, so let's just say this. I am so thrilled that we had Jennifer and that we have a commitment from her to continue to return and work with us and to better and help us better our business. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, Mark, and we'll just want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll just get right to business and working today and get rolling.
Okay, you can go ahead and close out, John.
All right. Well, listen, have a great day, everybody. I'm thrilled that you're here as well. But you know what? Connect, stay in touch, start building your business for the purpose of, first of all, do what Jennifer said. What is it that you want? And let's go help other people get what they want. So with that, you have a wonderful day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow morning in the Breakfast Club, and mark your calendars for Tuesday night as well. And we'll look forward to seeing you there. So have a great day, everybody.
Peace and blessings, everyone.